that we were going to implement to ensure that this kind of travesty never happened again.
Yes, one could say I was fairly unruly as a kid. Yeah, I was a little bit of a maniac of a kid. And that's one thing that was great about the military for me was it's a clean slate, number one, and then they give you very specific, okay, this is what you need to do to succeed. And so you show up a SEAL team and they say you got to learn about this radio and here's what you need to know about it. And if you know that, you're going to be successful in that department. And here's what you got to know about this weapon. And if you learn that, then you'll be successful. A great base to start from. And then eventually what you really learn in the SEAL teams is that what you have to do is you have to be able to think. You have to be able to problem solve. And you have to be able to look at complex problems, simplify them, and then implement solutions to them. And that's what comes a little later once you have that base. But it's a little bit different from what people think, because a lot of times people think that the military is, everything is super rigid and structured and that all you're doing is getting orders from above you in the chain of command and you're executing those orders. Well, that's actually not true at all. And what you're really doing in the military is you're looking at complex problems on the battlefield and you're coming up with a solution with your team on how to get those problems solved. And that's why I think that part of the military, even though it's not well known, it does translate great into the civilian sector, because this is what business people, and now obviously I work with businesses all the time, and that's what the businesses are doing. They're looking at these problems that they have in whatever industry they're in, and they're trying to find out solutions so they can execute them quickly and efficiently.
When you're trying to become successful, you need to make sure that you're always looking on the bright side of life, because when you do, your eyes are open to what's truly going on and you're not going to bring yourself down on all the little things that are challenging you and making you grow. Because when you look at everything as an opportunity to learn something new, your eyes will be changed forever. You see, that's one of the biggest things that you need to know and learn and understand, is that every opportunity is a moment for you to learn something new and something to grow from. And that's what you really want to do. You want to grow and mature and learn as much as you possibly can, so that way you can get as much information and as much experience in as you possibly can while you're trying to become successful, because all that information, that experience will pay off and it will help you on your pathway to success. Because a lot of people just say they want to achieve their goals or they want to do this, that, and the other, and then they don't do anything about it. And they're always saying that they wish they could do, when you actually just go out there and do it. It's not that challenging to just start, but that is the hardest part, is starting. So when you're struggling to start, look on the positive side. Say you are making a step forward. You are pushing yourself towards your dreams and making yourself a bit uncomfortable so that you can grow and learn and mature and figure out ways to do things that you never thought possible, because you're going into them with an open mind and a positive mindset.
I'm legitimately asking these questions. I'm not doing this, okay, well, we're gonna get you there and that's what's gonna happen. I already know the outcome. No, I think I know the outcome, but I'm not sure of it. You know how many times I'm sure of what the outcome's gonna be? Not very often. So the truth is I'm being totally transparent. I'm asking legitimate questions. I think I know the answers. I think they're gonna lead to the right place. And so it's okay to let that run its course. Now, you talked about manipulation. Manipulation obviously has a bad connotation. Leadership has a good connotation. What's the difference between the two? Because guess what? If I'm manipulating you, I'm trying to get you to do something. If I'm leading you, I'm trying to get you to do something. And many of the tools are very similar. So what's the difference between me leading you and me manipulating you? It's very easy for me to answer that question. If I'm manipulating you, I'm trying to get you to do something that's gonna benefit me. If I'm leading, I'm trying to get you to do something that's gonna benefit you, it's gonna benefit the team, and it's gonna benefit the mission. So for me, those are too easy.
Self-help or self-management improvement. I don't really, because there's a lot of people out there that are constantly trying to improve themselves by looking for the one change, right? The one change in their life that's gonna make their dreams come true. And even worse, on top of that, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of self-help gurus and these hyperactive motivational speakers and these other self-appointed modern Zen yoga warriors that they're trying to sell the one thing. They're trying to sell the 9 steps or the enlightened path that's going to allow you to unlock all of your human potential and fulfill the dreams so you can live the life that you've always wanted to live. Now, I'm no guru, and I definitely don't claim to be. I'm just a man.
I was not really good at anything. You know, I wasn't the best runner, I wasn't the best swimmer, I wasn't the best at the obstacle course. I was kind of in the middle on everything, which is actually not a bad place to be, because if you're great at something, it usually might mean that you're weak somewhere else. So for instance, guys that were great at the obstacle course, maybe they weren't that good in the water, or someone that was a great runner, maybe that weren't that great of a swimmer. So if you were great at something, sometimes you had weakness in other areas. For me, I was not that great at anything, but I didn't have any super weaknesses. And so, you know, I was able to make it through the training. But if people have issues and problems, the training will find them and it'll exploit them. You know, honestly, SEAL training is this big, they try and put this big mystical thing on SEAL training. It's actually not that big of a deal. You go there, I mean, I'm not saying it's easy because it's hard, but you go there, you have to run, swim, do a bunch of push-ups, pull-ups, dips, rope climbs. That's what you do. Sometimes you don't get to sleep very much. Sometimes you're really cold, but it's all just not that big of a deal. You go there, you don't quit. It's not some big life-changing experience. I didn't have some eureka moment about my inner self or anything like that. You show up, you don't quit. That's what training is. And so I don't really, and plus it's a little tiny part of your career.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.